Our lives flow through time like the waters of a river. As we journey through life, there are times of calm and contentment like the gently flowing waters. But more often than not, like waters suddenly churning over rocks and unexpected bends in the river, our lives are tossed by the turmoil of life's trials and tragedies. And yet, each stream flows into the ocean of infinite life. For over 2,000 years, the teachings of the Buddha have offered guidance and meaning to human existence. In 2009, we commemorate the 750th anniversary of Pure Land Buddhism, Jodo Shinshu, founded by Shinran Shonin. Brought to Hawaii by Japanese immigrants, it is the largest Buddhist sect in the islands and marks its 120th anniversary in the United States. In this milestone year, we have an historic opportunity to rediscover and contemplate why Buddhist teachings continue to endure across time and cultures. We begin this journey by seeking those who know best, its members, for whom Buddhism is part of their lives. Reverend Midori Kondo of Kauai, whose parents were immigrants from Japan, recalls what the Buddhist faith and the community temple meant to the Issei generation.
Well, for the first generation, this spirituality really gave them strength during those difficult times, I'm sure, because it reminded them of their home, and the language was of their own cultural and heritage. And so coming to the temple and hearing the recitation of Namo Amida Butsu was very warming and embracing and helped them in their daily lives. And when they weren't sure of what's going to happen to them, they could go to the temple and speak to the priest and be helped, in those moments. And so I think for the first generation, especially the immigrants, they really supported the temple for those reasons.
For successive generations of descendants of these Japanese immigrants, the religion the Issei brought from their homeland continues to be their faith of choice. For others raised in other faiths, Buddhism's openness, flexibility, and acceptance of people just as they are have drawn them to Jodo Shinshu. Just as the river's waters remain fluid and open as it flows around obstacles and runs deep, Buddhism moves us toward the awakening of living our lives truthfully with love and compassion towards others. Cindy Sims was raised in the Catholic faith. Moving from California with her husband, who is in the Air Force, she wanted some moral guidance for their children. They are recent members of Waheowa Hongwanji.
So the idea of joining another church took some winning over with me, actually. So it was nice coming here and seeing that I can just come for the teachings and walk away with my own piece of it. And it's really, I don't know how to say it, it's a little bit more common sense based rather than just blind faith. It's a bit more relaxing for my mind and spirit than my previous experiences.
In Jodo Shinshu, the heart and mind are cultivated by striving to be a flexible and receptive person whose ego is tempered by life's experiences. It was time for change. That is why Barbara Labao decided to attend a Buddhist service. Her husband had died 20 years earlier, and she had recently retired as a secretary.
I guess the friendliness of the people and their way of thinking, how to make you feel wanted. You're needed, you're wanted, and you have something to contribute to their, their temple. And that's what I like. Contributing and helping them for me to know them makes me a better person. It really has.
Damon Bender and his family recently joined the Hongwanji. As a father, he was concerned that his children were growing up without a moral foundation. While his wife grew up Buddhist, he describes himself as an agnostic or atheist. He was also searching for a religion that was meaningful to his life.
To really emphasize the openness, again, the accepting, and that it's about your journey and my journey. It's not about me worrying about your journey, right? It's me worrying about mine, and just to me, those couple of things that basically, hey, literally everybody's welcome. There's not, we don't say everybody's welcome, but, and that's huge, you know, again, especially in today's society, you know, that's huge.
Bender was drawn to the fundamental values of Buddhism: interconnectedness, self-responsibility, and universal compassion. Values that he found relevant to his life and that he wanted his children to learn.
Personal responsibility. And then, to me, the other side of that coin, which is vital, is that we are imperfect beings, and that's okay. Like, to me, if you just have one side, right? If you just have, we're imperfect beings, and that's okay, then you don't really have the aspiration to anything, right? Conceptually. And then, but if you have the other one, that, hey, it's all you. You're in charge of yourself. It's your fault. You're, you know, that sort of thing. Without, again, that acknowledgement that nobody's perfect, then it's like two sides of one coin, right? You're missing something. But when you have those two, you have that feeling where, hey, life is imperfect, or I'm imperfect, but I'm still chugging ahead for a reason. You know, I can still try to be a better person.
At Wahiawa Hongwanji, he found what connected him to others. Like waters that mingle from many sources to form a river, we are the result of interactions with the lives of others and what is around us. If the waters of a river never stay in one place permanently, so too is life impermanent, one of Buddhism's fundamental teachings. Peter Sir was 15 years old when his beloved Popo, his grandmother, died after a painful 3-year battle with cancer. It was at the funeral service of a friend's grandmother at Hilo Hongwanji that he first heard the minister talk about the impermanence of life.
Well, in 1997, when my grandmother died, Popo, of cancer, and it really got me thinking, how, what is there beyond death? And I had trouble accepting the Christian belief that if you're not, accepting of a Savior, then you will go to hell. And I could not accept that my grandmother, my Popo, who I love very much, could go through that. And so I thought of, I asked myself, what would be another answer that would be satisfying to me? And I have a friend whose grandmother passed away that summer of 1997. She was a member of this church. I don't know her name, but I came here for a funeral, and Reverend Bruce Nakamura was the speaker he was the officiant at the service. And his sermon, which I can't recall because it was 12 years ago, was so moving that I thought, maybe this is where I belong.
Today, Peter Sir is an active member of Hilo Hongwanji, where he began as a member of the YBA youth program. Ken Fujimoto was a helicopter crew chief in 1964 at the beginning of the Vietnam War. One day, he took another crew member's place on a routine flight. It turned out to be the worst day for his company. They were suddenly attacked by enemy fire. In Vietnam, Fujimoto saw firsthand the impermanence of life. A good friend was killed and another lost a leg. He was badly injured and did not think he was going to make it. After 3 weeks of intensive care and 19 pints of blood, Fujimoto survived, only to find nearly 30 years later, at the age of 51, that he was in deep depression from his memories of Vietnam. Living in Pipikeo on the Big Island, he turned to the Buddhist temple for guidance.